Published, 12:54 Eastern Standard Time, the 25th of January 2018. Updated, 12:54 Eastern Standard Time, the 25th of January 2018. The most impressive thing about Aymeric Laporte's CV are perhaps the references, Marcelo, Bielsa and Ernesto Valverde. One is a man whose judgment Pep Guardiola trusts perhaps more than any other in football and who first trusted in Laporte, and the other is the current coach of Barcelona, who built his Athletic Bilbao defense around him. Laporte, the 23-year-old French defender on the verge of a £57 million move to Manchester City, comes from a sporting family, albeit an amateur one. His father played rugby and football, and both his mother and his older sister also played football. He left them and his home in France aged just 15 to join Athletic Bilbao's youth academy. It was tough at first, but he learned Spanish and soon adapted, showing a maturity beyond his years that impressed then Bilbao coach Joaquin Caparros, who gave him his debut in a friendly 2009 when he was still only 16 years old. Aymeric Laporte is closing in on a £57 million transfer to Manchester City this January. When Bielsa replaced Caparros in 2011, he immediately saw the potential, and in the boss's second season Laporte played 20 games. His league debut came as a substitute coming on for Ander Herrera. Now at Manchester United, it was Guardiola signing Javi Martinez for Bayern Munich that gave Laporte his chance at Bilbao, and he took it. Under Bielsa's replacement, Valverde, he continued to develop, becoming ever-present. He has the pace to defend high up the pitch as Guardiola demands. He is confident enough on the ball to think about building attacks from deep instead of just getting rid of the ball, and, as Bielsa will have told Guardiola, he has the capacity to learn and develop even more at City. He also has as good a left foot as any young defender in Europe right now. That makes him the perfect long-term partner for right-footed John Stones. The ability on the ball comes in part from a youth spent playing as an offensive player. He's no reluctant defender, trapped at the back while desperate to get forward, but he is a player who spent most of his youth football years at the other end of the pitch. Laporte was born in France but completed his footballing education in the Basque Country. He is the defensive star of Athletic Bilbao's team, and appears tailor-made for Pep Guardiola. He was top scorer 8 years running as a kid, playing as a striker for Sporting Union Agen FC in the small town of Agen, halfway between Toulouse and Bordeaux. He grew up supporting Bordeaux and his favourite players were forwards. The first Bordeaux shirt he bought was Sylvain Wiltord's. He was only 6 when Wiltord left to join Arsenal. His new idol became Wiltord's replacement, Christophe Dugarry. Pauleta was another striking hero. He used to mimic the Portuguese forward's pumping arm celebration whenever he found the net. But eventually he started going backwards in the team, from centre-forward to holding midfielder to centre-back. City see a player who will have no problem coping with the physical demands of the Premier League. He has torn meniscus in both knees before, but the second of the two injuries came in 2013 and there have been no problems since. Laporte is a ball-playing centre-half. Guardiola also sees a competitive streak that he likes. Laporte wants to win things. That has been evident from training for the under-6 team in Agen while still only 5.5. I could train but I wasn't allowed to play, he says. Through to giving everything for Athletic, he had the misfortune of reaching a Copa del Rey final in Spain in 2015 only to come up against Barcelona and an unplayable Lionel Messi, who along with Diego Costa he cites as his most difficult opponent. A part of that will to win there is also a will to finally break through at international level. He has so far been ignored by France coach Didier Deschamps, who said in 2016, "I'm not going to pick him just because there is another country trying to take him. That other country is Spain. They have already pinched Costa from Brazil, and with not much strength in depth behind Gerard Piqué and Sergio Ramos would welcome him." Laporte is still hopeful he can break through with France. And at City he jumps ahead of Eliakim Mangala, so the same could now happen with the French team. There's a lighter side to Laporte off the pitch, and his best friend coming through at Bilbao was Iker Muniain, who was the biggest joker at the club and famous for pulling out his Bart Simpson shin pads every time he scored a goal. But he is also ready to get stuck in and will improve City's defence should he seal his move. Age 23, born Agen, French position, centre-back. Clubs 2011-12 Baskonia, 2012 present Athletic Bilbao International. France under-21 Shonners. Spanish Super Cup X1. The two were inseparable, and it was Muniain who consoled him when he received one of his first red cards in La Liga for a wild kick out at Roger Martí in a game against Levante. That was a rare rush of blood to the head. Laporte has become calm personified at Bilbao. If there is such a thing as a safe signing, he looks it. Having stepped back from a bidding war over Alexis Sanchez's wages, Manchester City have gone from the sublime to the sensible. He will not make for the same stunning interventions in games, but he brings reliability, intelligence and character to the other end of the team. He is a defender's defender who can play when he needs to, but who will, first and foremost, make Guardiola's team harder to score against.